everyone, no intro today. We're going to just jump straight into the video, and it is a review and wear test of the Primark Perfect Finish Foundation. So this foundation, for starters, retails at £2.50. I mean, come on, £2.50. Where was Primark Beauty when I was 14, 15? But nonetheless, it claims to be a medium to full coverage, natural finish, vitamin C and vitamin E. And when I put this on the back of my hand, it was a lot thicker than any foundation I personally choose to put on. I prefer a light foundation and building it up to a medium coverage, but that's just personal preference. So I did expect it to be thick. I have also tried the Primark Double Wear Dupe, so I am used to Primark foundations. Please excuse the rest of the makeup on the back of my hand. But when I put this on my skin, I will be brutally honest, one thing that shocked me was the colour match. I got very lucky, I think, with this. The colour match was perfect to my neck, and I mean absolutely perfect. So I was in utter disbelief when I seen that, but it did have a very strong scent. I noticed that when I was putting it on. So at first I did go in with a beauty sponge, which I prefer to apply my foundation with, but I know not everyone else does. And I did notice it sheared the foundation out a lot better than I expected. I didn't think it was gonna, so I was absolutely made up that you could have that more freedom with it, especially for someone who maybe doesn't want to buy multiple foundations, but they want to be able to have a light, medium and full coverage. But if you do want this full coverage, then reach for a brush. This brush, I noticed straight away, it went on much more full, went on a lot more thicker, and you could obviously then buff that out using a damp beauty sponge if you want to, but you do not need to. Now, normally thicker foundations when using a brush like this can sometimes leave streaks on the skin. This didn't do that. Honestly, I was so shocked for £2.50 that this did not leave streaks on my skin. I did not need to go in with a beauty sponge if I didn't want to. I did, just because that is me. It's habit, it's what I do. But yeah, you didn't need to. Then I wanted to show you how products applied on top of the foundation. So I went in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in Ivory as well, which was slightly different in shades, as you can see. But I did start to get a tingle. Now, it wasn't where I was applying the concealer. It was literally just my skin. It was so strange. And it came for like 10, 20 seconds and then went. And no idea I didn't get it again. It was literally just for a couple of seconds and then it went. So do not have a clue what happened there. Don't know if that was just my skin being a bit tingly or maybe just... I don't know, but I'm going to tell you anyway because that is the review. I then buffed out my concealer and I just found that the concealer was sitting on it really, really well. Then I went in with my bronzer, which is the e.l.f. Putty bronzer in this video. I do change up my bronzers sometimes, but I do really like the e.l.f. Putty bronzer. So I went in with that and it sat on really, really well as well. And then I went in with the Sheen blush. I wanted to keep it a little budget. You know, I do have other cream blushes that I could use, but I wanted to keep it budget friendly because it's a budget foundation, and I went in with the Sheen blush. If you don't like my blush in this video, neither do I, and it's not the colour, it's not the product, it's the way I placed it. So I tried something new. I just thought I'd try it in a new location and it went for me. Like, it just, no. Don't get me wrong, it went awful, but it just wasn't me. I like the apples of my cheeks having a bit of blush on it, and I felt like I was missing that. Like there was something about my face that was missing because I sat it a lot higher on my cheekbone. But yeah, I did like the way all of that applied. Then I went in with a little bit of powder. I used my puff first. This is the Givenchy Beauty Powder, and then I buffed that out with a brush. I just let it sit for a bit, and then I buff it out. I don't use that much, in all honesty, but I do like to pop it on with the puff, let it sit, and I only put it underneath my eyes, on the very, very point of my chin, and on the very centre of my forehead, and that is it. That's the only powder I put on a daily basis. I did top my bronzer off with a powder bronzer, which is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So that is the makeup on. I'm going to be brutally honest, the foundation has sat on really, really nice. Everything's applied on top of it really nice. Nothing's moved. It was definitely, it does say that it is a medium to full. When you use a beauty blender, it definitely like softens it out a little bit, but when you use the brush, I did notice it was a lot thicker. So if you're wanting this to be a lot heavier, I definitely say use a brush and then buff out with a beauty blender. But it's gone on really nice. It's the type of coverage I like. I can still see my freckles, which is exactly what I aim for. So up to now, for £2.50, I'm stupidly impressed with that colour match. I think I've got lucky with that though, to be honest. But it does say it has a natural finish. So maybe that's why with the beauty blender it's gone on the way it's gone on. But yeah, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I will be coming back later on. I'm going out all day, so it'll be interesting to see how it wears. So I will come back to you when I get back home later on tonight. May have had a few bevies, so don't judge me, but I may have had a few drinks. So we shall see how it wears. I've had said drinks, I've come home, this has been on for 9.5 hours now, and I completely forgot that I had to film this part of the video. I remembered, and then I'd already rubbed my eyeliner, because I do that when I get home and I am not having to worry about my makeup. But I rubbed my eyeliner and I ate some food, so please do excuse the eyeliner and the lipstick. We're just going to carry on moving past that. So this foundation is a bloody good foundation, I think, for £2.50. Do not get me wrong, there is elements of it that, you know, are not perfect. It has dried out in certain areas of my face, in particular my chin, my nose and on my cheeks. A little bit has worn away on the edges, but I didn't put much foundation there, so I think if I applied more foundation it would have been perfectly fine. Plus I do always put my head in my hand, I'm terrible for it and I know I shouldn't, but you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But I do think this is a pretty good foundation. I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. For £2.50, I'd say it's a great starter foundation, especially if you're young, you know, you're first coming into makeup, or you're someone who's sick of paying a lot of money for your work foundation or something. This is definitely worth a purchase and worth a try for £2.50. Definitely probably give it about 6.5 out of 10. And yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. The colour match was perfect for me, so all in all, pretty good. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.